to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm joined by Spencer Fearon. You were at a charity event last night. Just talk to me about that event, Spencer, please.
Oh, yeah, it was for the Maltese Michelin Feast, and a charity put together by quite a few guys from Malta. It was a really, really good event. Thanks to Johnny Nelson, Jay Spades, who were my guests who came down there. Incredible fundraiser. I think they did 150 grand there last night to help people in war-torn countries. The selected country of choice this time round, it's been going for about a few years, was to help the people who are now homeless, and they feed the people out in the Ukraine. So I had talks with the guys. I got a big up the guys that put it together. Luca, really, really, really good guy, man. Seriously, really good guy. It was a pleasure to be there and to see how much money was raised. It was really good. It was really good because I know it's going to a good cause. They're going to be doing something out in the West Indies. They're going to be doing something out in West Africa as well. They're going out to the Congo. And this is all through conversation. So to see that amount of money generated to help, people who are going for it, it was a nice thing to see.
Well, if you can get hold of a link to their website or even a donation link, I can put it in the description of this video if that's possible.
Yeah, I'll do that. The nicest thing was how diverse the room was when I was down there. And the amount of love and the energy that was done in there. Got a big up Hans Travel. There's quite a few people who were down there who sponsored. So it was nice. It was really, really nice. So yeah, and that was down in the West End. What's that? The Corinthia Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. And I got to big up the owners of the Corinthia Hotel because they donated the ballroom for free for the charity as well. So they had great numbers down there, and really, really nice to see a lot of well-to-do people, but everybody was happy. So that was nice. So a massive big up to them.
Okay, good stuff. Well, taking this conversation from charity to controversy, if you like, I know for a fact, you're speaking off camera, that you saw the interview with Tyson Fury by True Geordie. So just get your initial thoughts on that interview, please, Spencer.
Umar, I watched it because of you. Right, that was it. I would never have watched it. I saw Gareth A. Davis. His video as well. I watched a little bit of that. And I like True Geordie. I do, because he doesn't take himself too seriously, even though he takes his physical prowess very seriously. He doesn't take himself seriously. He comes across a really nice guy, and there's not a lot of things that he says that I openly disagree with. You know what I mean? Because he's actually giving the opinion of like what the man on the street would do. That's why I think, because he gives that opinion, he gets the following that he has, because people can actually relate to what he's saying. So he's not really coming from an authentic boxing position, but he's coming from an authentic fan position. So, and because he's coming from that, I don't really disagree with anything that he says. I just think if you're going to interview the heavyweight champion of the world, right, and the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, I don't think you start the interview by saying, what do you think of KSI? Right? Everyone knows that KSI is always calling out his brother. So I think that could put his back up a little bit. And then talk about Conor Benn, who has no correlation to Tyson Fury, and everything that Conor Benn's going through with this failed sample. And not only that, but it could be a little bit touchy, because we do know that Tyson Fury went through some wild war business a little while ago. So I think that could have had his back up. But Tyson Fury is a very complex character. And I don't think True Geordie starting the conversation then so you could understand the air of it or how it was going to go. But I'm glad it did go the way that it went. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that True Geordie pushed those kind of questions to Tyson Fury, that Tyson Fury was like, in a really and truly, I ain't be bothered to answer this rubbish. You know what I mean? And when Tyson Fury said, right, I'm not bothered about where I stand in history or what people think about me and all the rest of it, I believe it to a certain extent, but I don't believe it because he was saying that I'm going to be the first man in history to have 2 trilogies, right, as a heavyweight champion. And you're not going to be the first man. No disrespect, 1971 to 1976, Ali fought 2 men 3 times, right? And he did it twice. So Ali was the first man to do it because Ali fought Joe Frazier first fight, Joe Frazier second fight, Ken Norton, then Ken Norton again, then Joe Frazier, then Freddie Manila, then in Yankee Stadium, I believe it was in 1976, he fought Ken Norton again. So Ali was the first guy to do it. And Tyson Fury should have kind of known that because Tyson Fury historically, you ever sit there and speak history, Tyson Fury's on point, proper on point. So maybe he's just a little bit rattled, a little bit jarred, but he's not. He's not the first man to do it. But he is the first man to fight like 6 fights in 2 trilogies, at 6 fights to have 4 world title fights because that's what we believe this fight with Derek Chisora will be at. That's so yeah. But no, he's not the first guy. I don't want to bore people with histrionics and like, oh, but you said this and that and all the rest of it. Because I still think Tyson Fury's a badass. And when it comes to fire, he's incredible.
So from what you're saying there, Spencer, I feel like you're getting at that the pair of them, neither of them came off bad in that interview.
Well, how did they come off bad? How did Tyson Fury come off bad? Tyson Fury, in what is it, 5 weeks' time, he's defending his world heavyweight championship, right? And amid everything, what everyone's keep on gunning is Derek Chisora. Oh, well, Derek Chisora. I've said this already. You know what I mean? There's a man called John Henry Lewis that Joe Lewis fought, right? And banged him out in 1 round for the heavyweight championship of the world, right? These things happen. This was a man at the tail end of his career, and Joe Lewis said, you know what? I'm going to give that payday, you know? Right? Because I know you were mates. I'm going to give that payday. So the thing about it is this. Derek Chisora isn't no John Henry Lewis. Because Derek Chisora is going into that fight thinking, how crazy it may sound to people, thinking that he's going to win. Mm. His trainer, Don Charles, is thinking and sitting down trying to devise a plan how to win this fight. Derek Chisora, for at least 4 rounds, is going to give it everything that he has got. But my only question is this. We'd have to say in the 2 fights, and you know, like the first fight was like a decade ago. Mad, right? The 2 fights in which we've seen Derek Chisora fight Tyson Fury is actually better than he was then. Derek Chisora is not better than he was back then. So you'd have to say like one guy is on a recession physically. We've seen that. He's been in hard fights as well. Another guy is ascending to where he's meant to go to. Mm. So these are the things that we've got to take. But what I am saying is this. It's going to take a madman to ruffle Tyson Fury. And I've said this many times that Derek Chisora is the right kind of crazy to go and do this because here's a man saying that I don't want to retire. When everyone's like, you got to retire, Derek. It's all over for you. So I'm not retiring. You know what I mean? Derek has told me many times that I'm going to fight till I can't fight no more. And this is his opportunity. So regardless of that, I'm looking at what Derek is actually bringing to the table. When we're saying that he could have fought somebody else. The cash cow fight was Anthony Joshua. That fell through. For whatever reason, I don't even care. It didn't happen, right? That didn't happen. Who else is there to fight? Okay, then, let's go fight Bakoli. Does anyone know Martin Bakoli? Let's be real. Let's fight Hrgovic. Does anybody know Hrgovic? And as far as I'm concerned, Hrgovic lost against Zhang. Yeah. I have said it, right? Anyone know him? No. So who else is going to be available? Okay, then Andy Ruiz. Do you really think Al Haym is going to allow a PBC fighter, right, to come to the UK to fight Tyson Fury for the heavyweight championship of the world when he can say, hold up a second, Deontay Wilder's just made this big resurgence now? No, Deontay Wilder and Ruiz, these two can fight. That's going to be a big money fight in America on a pay-per-view. So why should I allow you to go fight? No, you fight on my team. So that's not going to happen. So who else was there? So when they was talking about Manuel Charr, brother, I wouldn't want to see that fight. I prefer to see Derek Chisora get the opportunity. And also on the fact, like, it's crazy, but this will be the second world heavyweight title fight at Tottenham Hotspur, because last year we had Anthony Joshua. This year we're having Tyson Fury. I have been there. I was ringside. You had the Joshua fight, right?
Yeah.
I was ringside for the fight. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing. Anybody, and next thing, anybody going to that fight, make sure you have prior arrangements for you to leave, because it took me about 2 hours to go and get an Uber to get back home. I mean, me and my missus, we was like, but because it was such a great event, and it was a great event, that I didn't mind the wait, because like people recognize you get to talk boxing with people outside. That was great. But yeah, no, it's we can't. I'm not gunning that fight. Before I'll be, like I said, I've seen worse heavyweight title fights, and I understand that there's tricks in trade and mechanics in business. And right now we're seeing the machinery in the business. Why? If you was a heavyweight champion, knowing that you are preparing to fight Usyk, right, in a historical fight. It's a historical fight, because it's going to be the first time we're going to have, in the 4-belt era of heavyweight championship boxing, are we going to have one champion, unified, solidified champion, right? Why would you take the chance against somebody a little bit more dangerous? Why? Right? So it's risk-reward factor. So I'm not knocking that, because you know what? They've done 60,000 tickets already, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not there, I think I will be there. If I'm not there, I guarantee you that I'll buy it on television. I'll buy the pay-per-view. So no, Derek Chisora, the British public know him, and even though they're down there thinking like, all right, he's gonna get a whooping, I'm telling you, he's the right kind of crazy to forget. Well, you don't care what you lot's gonna say. He's going to come to fight. That is it, and we know we're gonna get entertained. Regardless, we're gonna get entertained.
Spencer, as you mentioned there, he's gunning for Alexander Usyk historic undisputed fight early next year. He's just boxed his mandatory in April. He's got no mandatories due. Are people also missing a fact here that this is a voluntary defense and Chisora is ranked by the WBC?
Well, listen, it is a voluntary defense, and where's Chisora ranked in the WBC? I don't even know where he's ranked, right? But he's ranked. This is fitting for a world title fight, because last year, everyone screamed for Derek Chisora to retire, right? Okay, then cool. So if this is his pension plan fight, let it be his pension plan fight. But I know that Derek Chisora and Don Charles are thinking, no, this is my historical stamp, my authority fight. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I ain't got time to be gunning this fight. I haven't got time. It's a fight. Let Tyson Fury do what he's gonna do. If he comes out victorious, nobody's not thinking, oh, Derek Chisora is gonna win the fight. Nobody. Everyone. No, Derek Chisora. No. Okay, then. So he's not gonna win the fight. We believe. But crazier things have happened in professional boxing. You do realize this, yeah? Look at the heavyweight division history. Crazier things have happened. So don't write Derek Chisora off.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, modern times, you're looking at Buster Douglas, obviously, with Mike Tyson, Andy Ruiz Jr. with Anthony Joshua. You just don't know. But Gareth was talking about how, just back to this interview with True Geordie, he was talking about how Tyson's in the middle of camp. He's going to be putting himself through the paces. He got a bit of stick for those comments, people saying, oh, as if Tyson Fury's training for Derek Chisora in this trilogy. You're in boxing, Spencer. You know at the moment how hard Tyson Fury will be working in the gym in Morecambe.
Let me tell you this, yeah? Tyson Fury is damned if he does, he's damned if he don't. Because let Tyson Fury put in a subpar performance against Derek Chisora, yeah? And he's going to get mullered, right? So he's going to have to go out and give that performance. So me personally, Tyson Fury needs to go out there and brush Derek Chisora in 2-3 rounds, right? That's what he's gonna have to do, right? Because if he doesn't, we are gonna look at this and like, what? Right. So let's look at this more as an event. It's an event, and Derek Chisora is a decent enough dance partner. He's a decent enough dance partner. I'm being real with you, because this is about putting bums on seats. Tyson Fury put bums on seats by himself, but bums on seats, you're going to need a dance partner. And the dance partner happens to be Derek Chisora. Yes, we'd have wanted it to be in Anthony Joshua. Yes, we would have. Yes, we would have wanted it to be in Usyk. We really would have wanted it to be. But it's not neither of those kind of guys. And like, we would have, if it was Deontay Wilder, would be on it as well. Because, you know, Deontay Wilder can bang. You don't know, right? So it's none of those three. All right. So I'm saying that's decent enough, because at least we know who he is. And like I said, give me Derek Chisora over Manuel Charr any day of the week.
I think the last one was Joe Joyce, who's coming off a great win, but he confirmed on the weekend to our channel that December 3rd wasn't an option in the end for him, and that's when Tyson's boxing. And their plan is, this is according to Joe and also to Frank Warren, he said that we want to get, if Fury beats Chisora, beats Usyk, we want to do the undisputed next summer, Fury v Joyce. And that would be massive. And also, why would you box Joyce 2 months before an undisputed fight against Usyk? Is that fair?
No, you know what? Well done. You're getting smart in your old age, Umar. All right. I know you're a young whippersnapper now. I'm seeing you like with a goatee and everything. What's going on? No, I totally agree, because there's a lot of pressure on Tyson Fury anyway, right? But when they question, well, then have you fought? True Geordie said, like, have you fought the best in your era? Right? Are we not looking at the circumstances that he went in with Deontay Wilder? Are we not looking at? Are we just? Oh well, yeah, no, that was in. You know what I mean? Are we not looking at? He just boxed Dylan White.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. You know what I mean? We can't like. Oh well. It's not like he's It's not like Tyson Fury is deliberately trying to avoid someone. He's not. He said, right, I want to fight you, Usyk. Not available. I want to fight Anthony Joshua for whatever reason. Didn't happen. I'm glad that fight didn't happen at the time. You know what I mean? I've said this, I'm just being 100, right? And I saw Joshua's interview that he did with Addy, and he alluded to the fact that people that actually care for me were saying, like, let me rest mentally, right? And, you know, I was a big advocate of, like, take a break, bro. I'm glad that he listened to somebody. Not saying it was directly me, but I'm glad that he listened to somebody, right? So what other fights are there for Tyson Fury? I'm looking forward to this fight. So not this fight, because I'm looking at this fight more as an event than a fighting spectacle. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it as an event. It's an event.
Last one, I think you raised a very valid point there, and this is where some of Tyson's frustration might comes when he gets all these questions. If you look at the Klitschko fight, when he went to Germany, he worked his way into a shot there, went on away soil, beat Klitschko on points. Obviously, we know what happened afterwards. He had a long break from boxing. And then out of nowhere, he goes and fights Deontay Wilder. And let's be real, in that fight, heading into Los Angeles in the first one, 99% of people were picking Deontay Wilder. Then he has
1%. Remember, you interviewed me. I was a 1%. You interviewed me outside your call. I was a 1%.
Yes, you were. I'll give you that. You were. But what my point is that in these world title fights, he's always travelled and gone as the challenger, the B side. So now he's finally the A side, just boxed WBC #1 contender, as you said, in April. He feels like he wants to call all the shots, and which he's doing in a voluntary defence.
Yeah, listen, you're right, but I don't even think it's the fact it's like calling all the shots. Like I said, I look back to history, and I just think he's giving his pal a payday. Yeah. Right? And that's what he should do. He's giving his pal payday, but he's looking to punch up his pal, and his pal's looking to punch him up as well. So don't get twisted, right? And I know, and I'm telling you this now, Don Charles is working meticulously hard in trying to actually hurt Tyson Fury. He's looking to hurt him. That's what I'm saying to you. He's looking to hurt him, right? Whether he can administer the plans that they got, It's very, very difficult. I'm just being honest. But you know what? I'm just gonna be real with you, man. I would love to see Derek punch up Tyson Fury. Just for the no, I'm gonna be real. Just for no, I'd like to just punch him up or just give him that fight so then people say, well, we see why the fight took place.
Yeah.
Right? Not no 1 round, 2 round beat down and this was such a mismatch. No, I'm looking at it as an event. I know it's gonna be an event. I'm looking forward to the pressers that are up and coming towards the fight. I'm looking forward to the press conferences. I'm looking towards the heads to heads and everything else. I know Derek Chisora is that kind of crazy to bring something because Derek Chisora does not business. When you feel like someone don't give a flying F, go look at if you look at for the quotation flying F, you will see Derek Chisora's picture right there because Derek's that kind of mad kind of guy, right? And I'm like, and that's it. Like I'm glad the fight is going to a British fighter. I'm glad the money's going to a British fighter. And regardless of whatever happens, Derek Chisora is already financially secure before this fight, but he's going to be even more financially secure. I've got a lot of time for the Fury family. Like everyone knows, John Fury was on the phone to me constantly when my mom passed away. Derek Chisora and Don Charles came to my mom's funeral. They're my guys. So in the boxing family, they're the boxing family. So keep the money in the family. Money in the family, man.
Well, hopefully Frank can sort you out a row 1 then on December 3rd.
No, I'm not. What? I'm not. Listen, I'm good. Me and Baba Tunde's good doing the fight is right. It's all cool. But
you're gonna do the stream? Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm going to this fight, man. Sunday, I'm going to the fight. I've got to go to the fight because trust me, I'm going to the fight. It's going to be a great fight. It will be a great. Listen, people. It's not as much as people. This is a mismatch, and it's Derek Chisora, and it's this and and all the rest of it. I'm telling you, Derek Chisora is coming to war Tyson Fury. Right? Look, you can't outbox the guy. You know what I mean? You got to get on the inside and try and break something in him. Right? And I think Derek knows this is my only chance and this is my shot, right? Because crazy enough, Derek is going in there to win. I was saying like, if Andy Joshua was to have won the world title back from Usyk in that rematch that they had, I thought, right, I could see him and Derek Chisora fighting in Africa, right? Just to share the money. But the thing, if they'd have done that, even though he's with 258, Derek Chisora would be going in there to think, I'm going to smash Andy Joshua. Nobody would be giving him a chance. That's the kind of crazy that you need when you're going into great things where everyone's saying, well, you ain't got a chance in here. You need that kind of crazy. And Derek is that kind of crazy. He's that kind of crazy. But everyone, shut up, shut. No, he's that kind of crazy. You need that kind of crazy to go in with Tyson Fury. Period.
Spencer, thank you very much for your time, and get me that link over the charity. I'll definitely put it in.
100%. Like, to everyone, if you just go onto the website, it is, I think it's, it is the Maltese Michelin Feast, where they're going out to the Ukraine to feed the homeless out there. Not only just the homeless, but the people whose homes have been bombed. I mean, there was a really good video that they put on yesterday. It was like, I was kind of welling up. And not only that, but they're going to do it in other countries as well, where they send out Michelin star chefs to make food, prepare food, but they're going out and they're giving loads of food to people in war-torn countries and people who are less privileged. So over things like that, we'll give them a massive salute. And man, and props to you, Umar, as well, man. We ain't spoken in a hot minute, so it's kind of cool speaking to you. It's weird now. Looking at you, you're getting old. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No. You're getting old, man. Last night I knew you was a little kid. It's like I see you maturing. Kind of cool. I see you growing to be a man.
Thank you.
Plus, I give you bare rings. I see in the background there, I see you got a picture of Ali destroying Sonny Liston in 1 round. So you know what I mean. So bare props to that as well. I like that.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something. Completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.